Now tell us, what role can the public sector play in terms of service delivery in marketing the logistics hub?
Thank you once again, Charity. The logistics hub is not a one-man show. And that does not even apply generally just into the marketing component part of it. But it may be the implementation part of it. Every single component or pillar of the logistics hub is for all of us,
yes,
as a country, as a region, and on a tertiary level, globally. It's all our babies because it will affect, the supply chains if it's not well done. But now the point in case is the public sector. The public sector sits or has a head of being the, responsible for regulations. We have several regulatory frameworks that we have. And these frameworks, they also point into marketing. So number one, the public sector will need to come in and kind of, create a conducive environment that allows, that when the logistics hub is being marketed by the coordinating body, which is the corridor group, the Bavish Bay Corridor Group, there is an integration of this ingredient into what the public sector is doing. We have line ministries, line agencies that are involved into, logistics, transport and supply chains. So there has to be an element that the public sector, such as these, the OMAs, the offices, the ministries and the agencies, that they need to put that ingredient of the logistics hub, because our intention is not only the coordinating body to run with it, but it's also for the public sector to run with this baby,
yes,
so that it's known even within the ministries and also in platforms that guarantees or gives an opportunity for the country to hear about this. That is number one, which is creating a conducive environment. Number two is intensifying collaboration and the coordination. Once again, the corridor group will not be able to run with this project or initiative on their own. So the marketing part within the public sector can assist. The coordination in terms of resources, where they have resources that will assist the marketing, they need to coordinate that within their respective offices, ministries and agencies. Where there's a need of collaboration, for example, the corridor group has an initiative of trying to market a component within the logistics, and there is an agency, there is a ministry, there is an office that has the resources or has the opportunity or has the office space, then they need to come on board, so that they become involved as far as that is concerned. And not the least, and one of the buzzwords lately is the issue of digitalization. During the pandemic, if I can take one step, it's picked up that the organizations, especially on an international level, which worked so much, digitally, they were able to move their offices from where they were, like their, permanent offices, into their homes.
Yes.
And they continued to perform, though there was a hit or an impact, but at least they still continued to perform better than the organization that could not afford to do the digitalization. Now, the world is moving towards digitalization. Then where does then the public sector comes in as far as digitalization is concerned in terms of marketing the logistics hub? There are so many initiatives that the logistics hub is advocating. For example, the single window concept being one of the issues that is being talked about every day. So it's very critical that government continues to work towards the efforts that are pointing into digitalization of services. And then these, you remember that these are the services that the logistics hub is advocating for. And through the visibility of this, through the implementation, through the attainment of all these, in one or another, the logistics hub has been marketed. The logistics footprint has been put on the map. And this can only be very possible when government comes on board. Examples that I can give you: Namibia on the e-commerce index is around about number 100 out of 152. And who is responsible with this? The public sector is responsible. So if they can come in and assist in terms of improving our e-commerce, in terms of stepping up on the index of the e-commerce, that will help us so much that the logistics hub please and cries every day of digitalize, let's go into single window, let's, so many other platforms or so many other areas that the logistics hub is advocating. It will help that once again we will see the logistics hub's efforts scaling up. And the business will not be the business as usual, but it will change to something new that responds. Number two, which is not really number two, but point 2 to point number 3, is the adoption or the leaning off towards the technologies that are available. Once again, government or the public sector is responsible for that. You talk of the telecoms, you talk of the MTCs, you talk of whosoever you can talk about. These are government parastatals. And these are they who are responsible for the upgrading of the network infrastructures. And once the digitalization component is linked towards these parastatals or these state-owned enterprises, once again it will assist the visibility of the logistics hub. And in the long run, we'll be able to achieve, we'll be able to be visible, we'll be able to be heard on a national, regional, and also continental and going on a global scale. And at the end of the day, then we can sum up and say the public sector has a huge role in terms of the regulation part, while the coordinating body, which is the corridor group, has the responsibility to implement the actual work, but the regulation part has to come from the public sector, which will then in the long run market the logistics hub.
Right. Thank you so much, Brighten.
It's all my pleasure. Thank you.
There you have it, viewers. That was Mr. Brighten Simasiku, the chairperson of the Capacity Building Working Group, shedding some light on how best we can promote and market the Logistics Hub initiative in the post-COVID era.